Florence, talent, injury, and a new beginning. Years later, I often thought about turning points in life. If life really has moments that change everything, they usually arrive very quietly. There is no lightning, no cheering crowd, no music playing in the background. Sometimes nobody even realizes what happened. The afternoon in 1982 was one of those moments. I was 16 years old and playing for the Senza's youth team. It was just another youth match. There were a few scouts watching from the stands. No television cameras, no reporters. Nobody imagined people would still talk about that day many years later. Not long after the game started, a teammate passed me the ball. I turned, beat one defender, ran forward. Shot, goal, then another goal and another. I did not know what was happening in the stands. When I played football, my whole world became the ball. Nothing else mattered. After the match, my coach asked me to come into his office. Several men in suits were sitting there, coffee cups were on the table. One of them looked at me carefully, almost like he was looking at a valuable painting. Then he asked, "Would you like to come to Florence?" For a moment, my heart almost stopped. Florence. For an Italian boy, Florence was not just a city. It was a dream, a city of art, a city of history, a city filled with football passion. And now they wanted me. On the way home, I stayed quiet. My father was riding his bicycle, just like he had done many years before. The sun was setting over the fields. The wind moved softly through the countryside. Finally, I spoke. "Dad." "Yes?" "Florence wants to sign me." The bicycle shook slightly. My father did not turn around, but I saw his shoulders move. Then he smiled. It was the happiest smile I had ever seen. Later, I learned that Florence was paying a huge transfer fee for me. An unbelievable amount of money at that time. I was only 16. I had never even played a professional match, yet they believed in me, sometimes more than I believed in myself. But football has a funny way of testing people. Just when you think your story is beginning, life can suddenly hit you hard. In 1985, I was 18 years old. Everything seemed perfect. My move to Florence was getting closer. I dreamed about Serie A. I dreamed about the Italian national team. I dreamed about the World Cup. Young people often think the future belongs to them forever. They think there will always be more time. I thought the same. Then one afternoon, everything changed. During a match, I was dribbling forward. A defender rushed toward me. We collided. I fell. And then I heard a strange sound. A very small sound. Like a stick snapping in half. Crack. The next second, pain exploded through my body. I collapsed onto the grass. The sky suddenly felt very far away. My teammates ran toward me. Someone called the doctor. Someone called for a stretcher. But I could barely hear anything. All I could feel was my knee. It felt like it had been smashed by a hammer. The hospital was quiet. Doctors examined me. Then came the waiting. Finally, the doctor removed his glasses and looked at me seriously. "You have torn your ACL. You also have serious damage to your meniscus." I did not understand those medical words, so I asked the only question that mattered. "When can I play again?" The doctor was silent for a long time. Then he said, "Maybe. You will never play again." The room became completely silent. I stared out the window. I did not know what to say. I was only 18. My future had just begun. And now someone was telling me it might already be over, that my parents came to the hospital. My mother cried. My father sat beside my bed. He said almost nothing. The room was so quiet that I could hear the drip of the hospital machine. That was when I learned something important. Real despair is not shouting. Real despair is having no words at all. The surgery came quickly. Back then, ACL surgery was much more difficult than it is today. Many players never returned to their old level. Some never played again. As I lay on the operating table, I felt truly afraid for the first time. Not afraid of pain, afraid of losing football. Because until that moment, I had never realized how much football meant to me. It was not just a hobby, it was part of who I was. Without football, I did not even know who Roberto Baggio would be. After the surgery, the long road back began. It was a period that very few people know about. There were no crowds, no cheering, no headlines. Every day looked exactly the same. Pain, rehabilitation, pain, rehabilitation. While other players trained, I practiced bending my knee. While other players played matches, I learned how to walk properly again. Some nights I stayed so late that I was the last person in the rehabilitation center. I became thinner, quieter, more serious. One day, a doctor asked me, "Why are you still working this hard?" A lot of people would have given up by now. I thought for a long time before answering. Then I said, "Because I don't know how to do anything else." It was the truth. Football was not my job. Football was me. Giving up football felt like giving up myself. 8 months later, I touched a football again. It was an old ball. The surface was worn and cracked. Nothing special. But when it rolled toward my feet, I almost cried, because for a long time I thought I might never touch one again. I gently stopped the ball, passed it, stopped it again. My movements were clumsy, like a beginner, but at that moment I felt alive again. Later, people would call me a genius. They would say I had special gifts, that I played football like an artist. But those people only saw the success. They did not see the hospital room. They did not see the surgery. They did not see the long months of pain. The thing that changed me most was not talent. It was nearly losing everything. Because after that injury, I understood something important. Football can leave you at any moment. And once you understand that, you begin to appreciate every minute, every touch, every match, every chance to play. Years later, when I stood on the World Cup stage in front of millions of people, I still remembered that hospital room. Because only people who have nearly lost something truly understand how valuable it is. What I did not know then was this. The biggest chapters of my story had not even started. Florence was waiting for me. The city would give me unforgettable memories, passionate fans, great joy, my first true love, and also my first heartbreak. The adventure was only beginning.